This is the brand new HYMER BML 780 motorhome. It's something which was introduced today. Today's the 1st of April 2019, it's April Fool's Day. This isn't an April Fool, but it may well be, because I can't tell you the price because it hasn't been decided upon, and I can't tell you the when it's going to be in the shop, so to speak. This won't be available to the public until 2020. You might get one for the summer of 2020, for example. Maybe. I don't know. But I want to show you some of the innovations in this van. I think it's really very good. They put some new things in, but some of these vans have got some old things in as well. For example, this door, they've now got a door which you can open using an RFID tag, and it'll open for you. This one's the old type door, but I might be able to get you a demonstration of the new type in another film. Now, like all vans like this, it's got a double floor, like it's on the SLC chassis, so you've got that there. You can put your long stuff through there and go straight through. It gives you an idea how deep the double floor is. Also contained within the double floor are the electronics, the water tanks, and all the rest of it. For example, down here, there's your battery. And next to that, we've got the fuse box down here. There you go. So it's relatively easy to get to. I like to have the fuses easy to get to. I've had problems myself with fuses over the last few days, so I appreciate that one. Now, I say the new Sprinter it's on, well, you'd expect it to be on the new Sprinter, which is now a year old at the time of saying this. And by the time you'd be seeing it, it'll be about 7 years old. But it was brought out in 2018. This one here has got an electronic bed that comes down. Now, some of the things here which may seem for the moment to be quite standard, but I'm going to show you something here. I can't show it to you, you have to take my word for it, but they've got this upholstery in here which is called dual layer or something of that nature, and it's got a hard bit and a soft bit. A soft bit which is comfortable, but a hard bit which will make the form come back to as it was. So you don't sort of get the place where you were sitting doesn't sort of make indentations. I can't remember the word for it, unfortunately. Now here we've got a very unusual fridge. What's unusual about that? It's a Dometic fridge, tower fridge, there's plenty of them in there. Well, there's the freezer compartment. That doesn't look anything too flash so far. But what happens if you get so sloshed one night you can't remember which way it opens? Well, in that case, you don't have to remember. It opens both ways. Now, the idea behind this is that maybe you're doing something outside, you want to get your cool stuff out the fridge, or maybe you're working in the kitchen and you need to get your stuff like that. Another thing they've done here, now this might seem a minor thing, but it's this. Okay, so you've got drawers in the kitchen, but these ones you can actually take 15 kilos of weight, which I believe is what the standard is in kitchens at home. I believe, I might be wrong. Got a soft close as well. Okay, so over here, pretty standard sort of stuff. There you go. You've got your that there as well. 3 burners. One of the new vans, though, they're also introducing now induction heating into induction cooking, I should say, into the vans. Might be able to see that in another film. Let's see how much time I've got left. Here we've got a slide out. I like these things, they're great. Sorry, it's not a slide out, it's a slide out storage thing. In German it's called a chemist drawer. I've forgotten the word, I decided to call it in English now, never mind. And I'll show you this as well. So I think it's very well thought out. Materials used, it's got this mineral. It's called. They use the word wood free because it's wood free. It's a laminate, but it's designed to show the sort of the mineral idea of what it is. And on the subject actually of materials, you have to have a quick look at the shower now. Shower's got 198 of clearance, I think it is. Coming in here, you can see we've got this wool-like covering, which you can see not only on the cushions, but also at the back there, and at the doorway where you hang up your coats and things. Now, the beds, here is a bit of an innovation. In length, 207 centimetres in length. 207, that's 6 feet 11 inches. I just did that calculation in my head. So that covers just about everybody. Now, inside is 180 centimetres of clearance. Now, there are people who are taller than that. I've just been in here with somebody who's 2 meters 2, so unfortunately for him, he did have to, he couldn't stand up right there. But this is a problem. People are getting taller, and it's a bit difficult for the motorhomes to keep up, but at least it's 198 you've got in there. Okay, you've got steps up here, and another interesting feature, although I might be able to do this with just one hand. Let's have a look, see if I can. In here we've got some steps which come out. Oh, I did it with one hand, sorry. Right, now, when the bed, you can fill the bed in here. And when this is made into one bed, instead of having a ladder to get up there, you've got steps, and which, in my opinion, is much easier. Now, obviously, when the steps are out like this, or even as they are down the bottom, you can't have access to the wardrobes on either side, or wardrobe on one side and there's shelves on the other. But all the same, it's a good use of space, and I think putting steps is a far bigger advantage for older people than a ladder would be. But what about steps? There's always a problem with steps. Maybe the door doesn't open to the toilet. Let's have a look. Well, you see it does. We've now got a very spacious toilet, bit of storage in there. It's got a skylight up there. Well, I think personally, that's a big improvement. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. Now we've got here, got a little bit of some more hanging space, which is, sorry, and which if you take the shelves out can be longer or shorter or whatever you want. I didn't show you that down there because the steps, I'd had to push the whole thing back, which I didn't bother doing, but there's some more space in there. As you can hear, I'm under now a little bit of pressure because people are sort of taking things out and doing other things to it, and of course filming it as well. So we've got a magnificent skylight up there. Look at the size of that. Pretty good. So there's going to be lots of light coming in. Now we'll have a walk around here and have a look at this thing here, the garage. Now the garage can take 350 kilos, but as an option you can have an extension onto the SLC chassis, which I think is called a chassis extender or something like that, but of that nature. 450 kilos into the back here, payload, which is enormous. Oh, I didn't tell you the length, which is 780 centimeters, hence the number. Doors to the garage on both sides. Now, one thing that they've attempted to do is to make this a bit more rounded, and the point of that is because it's on the Mercedes chassis, which is not the widest. I mean, it's not, for example, I'm trying to build now a converter Sprinter, and you know, you can't sleep in a width-wise direction unless you're particularly small. So this is a problem, and with a bigger van like this, it's still a problem. So what they've done is they've made this a bit more rounded, and it doesn't really seem that more rounded looking at like here, but the wheels are not as recessed as they often may appear to be. Now there's another thing as well. Let's come up here. Now, you know, when you're driving a van, you've often got this problem of vision, particularly if you come into a junction at a 45-degree angle. You know, it's nice, we all try to get the angle to as close to 90 as possible, even though it means we're pointing the wrong, a bit like almost pointing the wrong way at a roundabout or something like that. Now, the reason for this is because it's the lack of vision. Look how they've increased the vision with this van now. There's far greater amount of things that you can actually see. Now, I bet there's still blind spots, but the blind spots are going to be somewhat less than they have been with the van that you possibly have at the moment. And now, this van is sort of advancing from one idea to another, and so what I'll do is I'll show you one or two of the other vans as well. Sorry, one or two, there's only two others to show you. I'll have a quick look at these two if we can get in them. I'm assuming we're going to get in, although that may not necessarily be the case. And so here we have, well, this one here has got a queen bed in. I'll just stick my thing around the corner so you can see. You know. So there's the queen bed. It will come in when there's other people, but when it's available.
And this is the king.
This is the king's here. We have the King of Germany down here. Right. Recently crowned.
Yes.
And what we'll do now is we'll have a quick look at this one. Unfortunately, the lights have gone out. Oh, we've got some. Oh, we've got the cleaning stuff already in here. But this one's just actually it is the same, but they've got certain features on it which the others haven't. So this was introduced today. So. Quick introduction, and so you'll be one of the first people to see this van. So if you find that interesting, I've got quite a lot of material. I've got material also on my German site as well. There's more material on my German site than there is on my English, which is called Allender Europäischer Camper for those who know German. There'll also be information, because I forget things when I'm doing something like this quickly, and it's easy when I write things down. And that's on my website. It's called motorhomefulltime.com. Then you put in the name of the vehicle, and you'll get more information on it. So, there we have it. The new HYMER BML range, which may be available as from 2020.